I'm not sure. Just hold on one moment.
You shouldn't ask your boss. Your boss. Somebody shouldn't ask for.
Okay. Is everyone able to see this? Are you able to see the slide, Cindy?
Yes.
Okay, okay, great. Great. So, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I greet you on this evening, this cool evening, though it is warmer than Saturday. I must say, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thanks so much for taking the time to participate in this community meeting and for also taking the time just to listen to this presentation. Cindy just shared some really great information, and I was trying to take some screenshots of the information. So please do participate. We make up the community, so please share the information as well. So the title of the presentation today is Keeping Lead Out of the Kitchen, Cooking Safely for Your Family. I work for the New York City Department of Health, the Bureau of Environmental Disease Prevention, and I will be presenting on behalf of the Education Community and Partnership Unit today. So, yes, I feel like I'm in school now. So, what are the learning objectives? You say, this better be interesting. It's after 7 o'clock in the evening, and I'm taking my time out. So, yes, what are we going to learn today? Some of the information I will tell you, it will not be new, but it's nice just to have a refresher. So, the learning objectives today are to understand the dangers lead can impose on health, to identify products that might be contaminated with lead, and to learn how to avoid using consumer products to prevent lead poisoning. Okay, so what is lead? What is lead? Lead is a metal that's found in nature. It's soft, it's malleable, it's easy. People can use it easily. It's durable. It has a very low melting point and it's easy for welding, but it is a poisonous metal, so it does not belong in our bodies. Lead has been used over the years in gas, in pipes, plumbing. Lead has been used on the bridge work. Lead has been used in so many different instances in paints because of some of these characteristics that are described here. However, once again, lead is a poisonous metal, so it doesn't belong in our bodies. So where is lead found? So lead is found, and I just shared, lead is found in indoor and in outdoor paint. Lead in paint has been banned. However, in some of the older buildings, the lead paint is underneath, so it's in a lower level. So if the paint rather is peeling, then that's the issue. But once the paint is intact, it's fine. Lead is also found in color pigments, as you can see here in these bright color pigments, because lead enhances the colors. Lead is also found in glazes, and I'll talk about this more later on in glazes in the pottery. It's also found in some products from other countries. For example, in spices. I just gave away a part of it. I said keeping lead out of the kitchen. So in some spices, in jewelry, in toys, in cosmetics, in pottery, also in soil. Lead is found in soil because lead is a naturally occurring element, and also in the plumbing, as I said before. So, what are some of the lead sources in New York City? Hey, we're here in New York City. Why are we talking about lead? So, as I said, lead in the paint itself, it turns into the lead in paint. If the paint begins to peel, there may be the lead in the dust, and it is the most commonly identified source of childhood lead exposure in New York City. The most commonly identified source. Also, workers, they're workers who are contaminated or exposed to lead because of the work that they do. So the most commonly identified sources of lead exposure for adults are those who work in the construction industry or they're job related. So we do have one of the nurses, she's not here now, she just left, and she calls the cases or the patients who are adults who have been exposed to lead. And there are some other investigators, and I hear them asking, well, what type of work do you do? Oh, do you do any bridge painting? Do you have certain hobbies? And that's because they may be exposed to lead through the work or the hobbies. And there are some other sources, as I mentioned, such as certain consumer products. Uh, and those are the primary source of exposure among pregnant people and adults. So how does lead enter the body? And I'm giving you this information before we get into the keeping lead out of the kitchen part because we just need to know and understand the basics. So lead, if it's in the soil, how is it getting into the body? So lead can enter the body when someone eats, swallows, or mouths a lead-containing product. So someone may put For instance, a child may use a toy or maybe playing with a toy that may have lead dust on it, and they're putting it in their mouth, or they're touching it and putting the hands in the mouth. Which is the second bullet, putting your hands in your mouth after touching products that contain lead. So some of the workers, they may be out there working and then they decide that they want to smoke, or for whatever reason, they may not wash their hands and they ingest or they are eating foods without washing their hands, and their hands may contain lead dust. So that's from ingestion, and then the second method is through inhalation. So the two methods are ingestion and inhalation. So the third bullet, people may breathe in the lead dust or fumes during renovations. Sometimes people are doing renovations in their homes, repairs, and demolitions that disturb lead-based paint. So once the lead-based paint is not disturbed, it's okay. But once it becomes disturbed, that's when it is problematic. And what are some of the health effects of people being exposed to lead? In children, it may cause damage to the brain and to the nervous system, as well as it may cause learning and behavioral problems. There, I remember I was at a health fair, and one of the participants said that when she was a child, she had an elevated blood lead level, and she remembers that it was really, really high, so she was hospitalized and she had to go through a process called chelation to get the lead rather, out of her body, to remove it from her body. Okay. So what are the health effects in pregnant people? If pe Pregnant people are exposed to lead, it may cause a miscarriage, premature labor, or even high blood pressure. And then it may cause brain damage as well as developmental delays to the fetus. So we do not want any of that. And what about the health effects in adults? It may cause, in adults who are exposed to the lead, it may cause brain and nervous system disorders, high blood pressure, cardiovascular and kidney damage, as well as reproductive health effects. So the consequences are severe. And not as a reminder, but it may be a reminder for some, but you may not always feel or look sick when lead poisoned. The only way to know if someone has been exposed to lead or is lead poisoned is to get a blood lead test. So, what are some of the blood lead tests screening requirements? In children, the New York State requires that healthcare providers test all children ages 1 and 2 years old for lead. So children should also be assessed for lead exposure by their healthcare provider every year until they're 6 years old. So 1 and 2, and then after that, the healthcare provider should ask questions to determine whether or not the child has been exposed to lead. Also, pregnant people. Any pregnant individual, for pregnant individual, the healthcare providers should if ask about lead exposure during their first prenatal visit. And as I mentioned, the workers before, workers are at risk for lead exposure because of their jobs. If their jobs are required to be and they are required to be monitored by their employer if their jobs cause them to be exposed to lead. All right. So there's a whole investigation. I did mention about the nurse as well as some other investigators who are here who their jobs are to investigate the lead poisoning cases. So what's the process? There's a process. And you may say, what does this have to do with cooking? But we need to just give the background again, as I said. So the New York City Health Department receives blood lead reports for all New York City residents. So all the reports are sent to the New York State Department of Health, and then the results for any of the city patients are sent here, not just for lead, but for other mercury, arsenic, and cadmium as well, the other heavy metals. So getting back to the lead, we receive the blood lead reports, and we receive about 400,000 blood lead test results for New York City children and adults each year. Investigations are done, so cases are investigated, cases or patients, those with elevated blood lead levels, to find out what the sources are. How were they exposed? Were they exposed through the work? Were they exposed through soil? Were they exposed through another method? So interviews are conducted, and then environmental testing is performed. So we have a set of um, a set of sanitarians, and they go out and they actually test the materials as a part of the investigative process. So, New York City, this is New York City. New York City is diverse. Just look around. It doesn't matter what borough you're in. And in Brooklyn, right there in East Flatbush, I actually live in East Flatbush. It's very, very diverse. In 2020, I know we're in 2026, but right now we still are using 2020 information. But there were over 3 million people living in New York City who were born in other countries. I was born in another country as well. So people from other countries with the fastest growth between between 2010 and 2020 were from Bangladesh, Dominican Republic, and China and India. So Bangladesh 63%, Dominican Republic 12%, China and India 7% each. Those are the countries with the fastest growth, the fastest population. And why did I even mention that? That's because when we do our work here at the New York City Department of Health, it's not just based on here in New York City, but our investigations span globally. So we may find a product here, but then when we do the investigations, those investigations may cause us to do work or to communicate with people in other countries because some of the items that are being brought into this country may contain lead, so we need to inform individuals in other countries about our findings as well. So I'll ask everyone to please take out your phones. Well, you may be on your phone. If so, you can do a screenshot of this. This is one of the I'm speaking about now, lead and ceramic ware. I'll get into that in a moment. But there's a video that I would like everyone to watch on your own time. There's a problem with me trying to play it from here because you will not be able to hear it for some reason. But it's a video entitled Reducing Lead Poisoning in Mexico, and it's by an organization called Pure Earth. And they have shown how lead in ceramic ware, what they have done to decrease or to reduce lead exposure among the population through the work. I don't want to give away too much of it, but
Karen,
these,
would you like to put the link in the chat and maybe I can play it for you?
okay, I don't, because of the double screen that I have right now,
Okay.
no, I'm not able, yeah, I'm
Let me
not
see if
able
I could um
to put the link in the chat.
okay, I'm gonna try to type it out and then put it up. Just one second.
Okay, thanks. We've tried it many times and we've tested it here and we were just not successful in playing it for the presentations. But it's a really great video and it's not very long.
Okay, so if I'm able to, you can continue, and then maybe I can see if I can get it up in the background. I'm
Okay.
almost.
Okay, that will be great. You can just let me know when you finish typing and then I'll go to the next slide.
I'm just making sure I don't get nothing wrong, because then it won't work.
Yes.
CPIFF. Okay. See.
And in the meantime, you can still do the screenshots just in case we're not able to get it
I'll
to
say it's
play.
not available right now.
Oh, okay. I'm not really sure why, but it's a great video if you have the opportunity to watch it. And I'll check again after because we watch it here. We've watched it a number of times, but I'm not sure what the issue is. Okay. All right. Let me go on to the next slide. Okay, so lead and ceramic ware. All right, now we're getting into the kitchen. Lead and ceramic ware. So S- I said when I came here, what is lead doing in ceramic? I remember when I came, I went into the conference room and I saw some beautiful pottery, ceramic ware. I said, oh, those look really nice. They're fancy here. Look how they're decorating. Little did I know, it wasn't just about them decorating here. These are some of the items that we've collected that tested positive for lead. And you say, what is lead doing in the ceramic ware? Well, the glazes and the paints that are used, these beautiful designs that are created, the glazes and the paints, and the glaze over here to make it nice and shiny at the top. I hope you can see this.
They both?
Uh, Pardon?
Yeah, I called them and they're closed right now. I speak with them tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Oh, I think someone has the mic open. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so glazes and paints used to decorate traditional ceramics may contain lead. And lead can get into the food and drinks that are cooked, stored, or served in ceramics. Lead comes out with more acidic or hot drinks or food. So people may during the different holidays or even on a regular basis, people may choose to use the ceramic ware because they've had it. They received it from their grandmother. It's been passed down through generations. They may use it at special functions, but they may contain lead. And we do not know just by looking at these items which contain lead and which do not, unless there is a specific label that's etched in that says does not contain lead. Okay.
Sharon, we have a
And
couple of questions in the chat. Do you want to do questions at the end?
can we
And
do
I
them at
also
the
got the
end?
video. Okay, I have the video though as well.
Okay. Can we do them at the end? I hope everyone will still be on so that I can
Sure. So
answer the
you want to do
questions.
the video at the end as well?
Yes, yes.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thanks. That's great. I'm glad that you were able to get it up, Cindy. Yay, Cindy to the rescue. All right. So here we have more pictures on the screen, lead and ceramic ware, and we can see that it's not just the products are not just coming from one country, but they're coming from different countries. Look at the beautiful designs. This bowl from Uzbekistan, this plate from Ecuador. It looks like a water pot from Mexico. This bowl from Morocco. In the center, the lower center, this beautiful, look at the intricate design from Turkey. And all of these contain lead. And this last container is a container that was purchased here in New York City. Because products are coming from other countries, they're being sold in New York City, but they contain lead. And we don't know, as I said, just by looking at the item, whether or not lead is present. We know when they're tested. Okay, so we ask people to please not to use these products for drinking, not to use them for eating, just to repurpose them. So here, keep your culture. Please practice your culture. We are in New York City. We're all about practicing cultures and learning about different cultures, but please do it safely. Traditional or handmade ceramic ware from around the world, as you saw pictures on the previous slide, including Mexico, Ecuador, Turkey, Morocco, Uzbekistan, they may contain lead. So do not use these products for cooking, serving, drinking, or storing food. If you use these products to prepare, cook, serve, or store food, please ask your doctor for a blood lead test. Okay? So lead and metalware. More recently, uh, a case or a patient after investigation was found to be using this product. It's called CASA or it's brassware, but it may contain high levels of lead. And it was when an investigation was done, the product was found and it tested positive or it had high levels of lead. So we ask people to be mindful. So if you're using any products, the ceramic ware or the traditional casa, please ask the doctor for a blood lead test. They're beautiful, but you can just use them to display, use them as a display, but not to eat or drink out of them. So once again, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's so important. If you use these products to prepare, cook, serve, or store food and drinks, ask your doctor for a blood lead test. All right, now we're going to get into the spices. I said spices before, so we're going to get into the spices now. So lead in foods. We ask, what is lead doing in foods? How can lead get into my food? There are some spices and snacks from South Asia, Georgia, Mexico, and other countries that may contain lead. So let's take a look. Spices. There are some spices that have been purchased abroad, and those spices are more likely to have high levels of lead. So please avoid using spices that are brought in or sent from other countries. There are spices that are here, so buy similar spices from the local stores in the United States. And if you use spices that are purchased or have been purchased abroad, please ask your doctor for a blood lead test. I know that I enjoy traveling to other countries, and when I eat the food, I taste the food, would say, "Oh, this is good. What spice was used? What seasoning was used?" I remember clearly going to Kenya and sitting around and watching the women cook in this big pot. And I said, "Oh, that food tastes good." It was just vegetables, but it tasted so good. So I went and I purchased the spice as well. Now, that was before I knew about this. Does that mean that you cannot eat food in another country? No, no. But we're asking that when you're here, please just buy the spices locally. And once again, if you use or have used spices from abroad, please just ask your doctor for a blood lead test. What you see pictured here, uh, you'll see red hot spices from Pakistan, chili from Bangladesh, turmeric from India, turmeric from Nepal, zaprana or saffron from Georgia, the country Georgia, not the state, and also sweet pepper from Morocco. Next, we'll speak about the snacks. Snacks called what you see in the first picture is a grasshopper. It's called chapelina. It's a grasshopper snack with garlic, salt, lime juice, or red chili powder, and it's eaten in Mexico. I've been to Mexico, but I didn't actually see the chapelinas. One of the students, when I worked at a health fair at one of the schools, told me that she's never eaten it, but this is a snack that her family eats. So chapelinas. Also, tamarind that from Mexico, and it was available for sale in New York City, was tested high for lead as well. And there was chocolate that came from Ecuador, cacao, the chocolate that's used to make the chocolate tea. The one that came from Ecuador that we tested had a high level of lead as well. So, what are the key messages? The key messages are to avoid using traditional handmade, artisanal clay dishes or ceramics, and brass metalware for cooking, serving, or drinking food. Also, we ask you to buy your spices locally, and I failed to say how the lead gets into the spices. It may be intentionally or unintentionally. Unintentionally, if if the spices are grown in soil that contains lead, and the soil has not been tested, people continue to grow the spices in that soil, then this lead may enter the spices. Also, if people use lead to enhance, as in some of the other countries, people may use lead to enhance the color or the brightness of the spice that was done, and you'll see that being addressed in the video I think, as well. All right, so please just buy your spices locally. Also, I didn't mention this, but it's in terms of tap water, or use only cold tap water for drinking, cooking, and making the baby formula. Run the cold water for 30 seconds before using until it is noticeably colder. Because and the reason that we say that is because if the pipes in the old buildings are leaded pipes, then it's better to let the water run out first and to use the cold water instead of using the warm water, which may have lead. Okay. And as a reminder, you may not always look or feel sick when lead poisoned. The only way to know is to get a blood test. So if you use products known to contain lead, or you suspect that you're using a product known to contain uh, that may contain lead, please speak with your doctor about getting a blood lead test. I'll share some of the key resources that we have. You can call 311 to request a free drinking water lead test kit. So if you are in an older building or you think your water might have lead in it, or you just want to test, just call 311 to request a free drinking water lead test kit, and you will get one, and you can test the water. Okay, and for more information, you can visit our website at www.nyc.gov/lead, www.nyc.gov/lead. And also, you may look at our hazardous products website, which is www.nyc.gov, that's .gov/hazardous products with an S at the end. You can also email us at healthyhomesecp@health.nyc.gov or call us at 646-632-6023. So these are key resources, and you can take a picture of this slide if you haven't done so already, or do a screenshot. Next, I'll show you a bit about the multilingual educational materials that we have. So the multilingual educational materials include, you can see, children and lead poisoning, what every parent should know, pregnancy and lead poisoning, what adults should know about lead poisoning. That brochure, oh, I did not have a copy on my desk, but this brochure, What Adults Should Know About Lead Poisoning, is very interesting, and it also has the information about the spices, the ceramic ware, and working around lead. We also, if you would like to get any of these materials, they're free. For your organization, if you work at a specific place, you are at a place of worship and you would like a presentation or you would like any of the materials, you can just contact us and we will make the arrangements. Okay? So hopefully everyone was listening. I have a little quiz. It's very short. All right. So, and I'm not able to see the
Oh,
chat. So,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Could you leave the slide? I was getting ready to take a
Oh,
picture of the slide.
I'm so sorry. Sure.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Oh,
I
that's
didn't want to
okay.
close. Thank you.
We have more materials than this. This is really just a small selection of the materials. You're welcome.
I'm done with it.
Okay, okay, great. So quiz time, quiz time. So here, if you cook with spices brought from other countries, you are not sure if they have lead in them. What can you do? So you cook with spices that you brought from other countries, and you're not sure if they have lead in them. What can you do?
Check the labeling.
Check the labeling. Very good.
Take a blood test.
Ah, take a blood test. Yes. So the only way to know, so checking the labeling is fine, and that's a great answer. Unfortunately, when lead is added to products, it's not necessarily included. So that won't be one of the ingredients, lead. Okay. So please ask the doctor for a blood lead test, as well as buy spices locally from the stores here. So you'll see the answer. Buy your spices from local groceries. Spices that you or someone else bought abroad can or may contain lead. So if you or family members use these types of spices or foods, please ask your doctor for a blood lead test. So yay for both answers. All right, one more question. So you cook or you see someone who's cooking with the brass metalware, something like what was pictured on one of the previous slides. Uh, so you see someone cooking with brass metalware or traditional glass ceramic ware, glazed, not glass, sorry, glazed ceramic ware. What can you do? It's not a trick question.
I'll advise them to stop cooking with it.
Stop cooking with it. Yes. hmm One more. Is there another person who would like to answer?
Let them know that there could potentially be lead in it, and
Yes.
like inform them, give them like details.
Yes, exactly. So you may not be the person who's using the ceramic ware, but since you have received the information, you can share it. And we will not use the brass metalware or the traditional or handmade ceramic ware for preparing, cooking, serving the foods. If you, your family members, or someone else you know use these, please talk to the person about it and also ask the doctor for a blood lead test. All right, now time for questions. I can stop sharing my screen unless, will anyone need me to go back to any of the slides to show any of the slides? If not, I'll just stop sharing. All right. Okay, so I've stopped sharing my screen and I will answer the questions, or I will try to answer your questions. Jorge? George? Jorge?
Yeah, so you could, yeah, George is good.
George.
Yes, a couple of questions.
Sure.
One, I I did see in that video that you recommended that they say that less than 1% of the pottery from Mexico is lead free. Is that do they have like the same thing for the other countries, like a report on that?
A report. So, of course, with Google, with
Yeah.
Google, we can find out a lot of information. Um, but Pure Earth, that organization,
Yes.
Pure Earth, they have a wealth of information, resources, because they do work internationally, in different countries. So they try to work with the areas that have the areas of greatest need in terms of lead and getting the lead. Ensuring that less people are exposed to lead. So Pure Earth will be a good site. The CDC Centers for Disease Control Disease Prevention, Control and Prevention. Oh, am I messing it up? They also have reports and have information. The only thing right now with because of the federal government, some of the reports or some information we no longer have access to, but you can go onto the CDC's website and type in lead in other countries as well as Pure Earth and see what's available there. Pure Earth, uh, I'm not sure of the last big report that they did, what it covers. I need to actually look into that myself, but definitely go on Pure Earth's website and check that out at
Yes,
cdc.gov.
yes, looking up I went into Google and looked up the video that you mentioned.
Very
So
cute.
I saw, but another question I have
Hey,
Yes.
is,
so serious.
yeah, is because I
That's
use a lot of spices from Grenada.
oh,
So
where okay, where jeans in with the black sweater?
Sorry,
Denim jeans and the
okay, go ahead, Jorge.
yes,
Thanks.
I use a lot of spices from Grenada. I don't know if any tests were done in spices coming from Grenada or
From so if you look,
Grenada. Yeah.
yes. So the cases that have been investigated, most of the spices are coming from came from India, Pakistan, different the countries that I mentioned. Do use spices from Grenada. I have the cocoa tea as well.
Yes,
Yes, it's
that,
in my
yeah,
refrigerator
definitely.
right now.
Yes.
I just
Hmm.
had some last week. Um, and I have not been tested. I need to ask the doctor to for a blood lead test myself because I do
Yeah.
use the spices. We I have not heard of the any of the spices, any of the cases rather, who or patients who have used the spices. None of them were from Grenada. There was one from Jamaica that of which I'm aware, one of the curry powders, and I need to find out the specific brand. Um, and it depend once again, it depends. Everyone is not tested. So even if there is lead in the soil, if the person who's using or who those pe individuals who are using, if they have not been tested, we will not know. So there may be people who have elevated blood lead levels, but they feel fine, so they have not been tested.
Yeah.
Mm,
Okay, I do have a couple of questions in the chat. One you already
in the
answered.
chat.
It was regarding the lead in the soil, whether if it was
Okay.
unsafe to eat anything that was planted in lead contaminated soil. So you answered that. But the
Okay.
other thing that I have is that I did go to there was another presentation or a report that said that you should run the water for 2 minutes in order to avoid any lead in the water, to clear it out. But your report said 30
30
seconds.
seconds, right?
Yeah,
That's
because I've
that's
been running it for two
for two
minutes.
minutes? I mean, if you can
Yes,
run
so
it longer, then yes, but our the recommendation from the New York City Department of Health is for
yes,
30 seconds until I'm
30
told
seconds.
otherwise, right? Until I'm told otherwise, then that's the number that we will continue to give. I, yes.
Yeah, so my basic question was this like an updated report, up to the I just want to say which report is older, the 2 minutes and the
Or the
30
30
seconds.
seconds. Yeah, so
Yes,
I don't know where the 2 minutes where that's coming from. So I can only give you the information from the New York City Department of Health. And in
okay.
terms of the report, I can uh I can get that information and then share it with Cindy. And does she have your contact information that she can
Yes, it does.
or and you can also you have our contact information, right? Did you
Yes, yeah,
okay.
that screenshot
So please
that
call that number because then we can provide you with information directly.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so you don't even need to go through Cindy. You can just call that number so that we can provide you with the resources and instead of me just telling you the 30 seconds. Okay?
Yes, yes,
Thanks for
thank
your
you very much.
questions. Sure, you're
No,
welcome.
I'm concerned because I own an old house.
Yes.
Yes,
And
yes.
you can request the lead water test kit. Have you done that already?
Yes, I did. I haven't received it yet, but
When
I requested it. I think
when
it
did
was
you
last
request it?
month. Last month. Hmm.
Okay. I don't know how long it takes to send it
Yeah.
to for it to be sent out. That I'm not sure. But you can call back or just request another one because I really don't know that area. I can only refer people to
Hmm.
request. Yes. Okay. Any other questions? And thank you.
No, yeah. That this slide where I took the picture, I don't see a phone number. I just see the and it's nyc.gov/lead. It,
Okay.
can you share that number if you don't mind, if you have it handy?
Yes, I'm going to share it. It is 646
646
632
632
6023.
6023. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
sure. You're welcome. Okay. Were there any other questions or are there any other questions? I'm looking in the chat.
Someone asks, what hobbies would lead to a high risk of exposure to lead? Did you answer that?
No, I didn't answer that. There are some people go to a shooting range and they practice shooting. Some actually do metal work. So they may, depending on the type of metal that they are using, forming the arts, as well as there was someone who made bullets. Now I don't know where these individuals live or where they're making these, but those are some of the hobbies that may expose someone to lead.
Thank you. Sharon,
You're
I guess
welcome.
this would be a good time to play the video that you wanted to share a while ago.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Cindy.
Mm-hmm. Can everyone hear? Did you hear it?
I'm
No.
not able to
I could
hear it.
see it, but I can't hear it.
Did you hear sound? Didn't hear no sound. Okay, 1 second. Make sure I'm sharing my sound.
I think you have to mute yourself in order for the video to play with sound.
We received an email labeled Urgent from a nurse in Morelos, Mexico. The nurse had discovered a baby with a blood lead level of 40 micrograms per deciliter. Baby Alonso's blood was 8 times over the CDC limit for health intervention. He was exposed to lead before he was even born. Baby Alonso was part of a research study done by the National Institute of Public Health, the Health Ministry of Morelos, and Pure Earth to determine blood lead levels of 300 mothers and their newborns. The study was the first to document lead poisoning in Mexico at a state level. Like many across the country, Baby Alonso's family used traditional pottery glazed with toxic lead to cook and serve food.
Pues y nadie está enterado, nosotros no estábamos enterados.
La mayoría de la gente acostumbra a cocinar, todo a comer en el barro. Cuando fueron a hacer la prueba, todas las cazuelas salieron positivas y ya no las usamos. No podía también mantener la cabeza y todo eso, y ahora ya lo hace perfectamente.
Baby Alonso, like so many children in Mexico, was at risk of developmental disabilities, including permanent IQ loss because of lead poisoning.
Se puede cambiar. Cuando quieres lograr algo mejor, se puede hacer. Cuando yo decidí, dije, tengo que cuidar a mis hijos y pues a la gente que nos compra también, ¿no?
Since 2009, Pure Earth has helped potters like Rosario to go lead-free. We've also cleaned up their contaminated workspaces and communities. Now we are helping potters sell online. We are educating customers and encouraging restaurants to buy lead-free pottery. Pure Earth is also setting up a pottery exchange program to provide poor families with lead-free pottery. We knew many children had lead poisoning, but we didn't know exactly how big the problem was nationwide. So Pure Earth worked with the National Institute of Public Health in Mexico to include blood lead testing in the National Health Survey for the very first time. The results were eye-opening. The government now has proof that lead poisoning is a national crisis, and they are making it a priority to protect millions of children. And thanks to the contributions of foundations, corporations, and individuals like you, we will be here to help scale up the solutions. Baby Alonso is now a happy, healthy young boy. His blood lead levels have continued to fall. Our goal is to have many more success stories.
Okay, thank you, Cindy. Oops, let me put the video back on. Thank you. So you were able to see what is being done in Mexico. Uh, and people often travel to Mexico and see the pottery and may purchase them, or the pottery, the ceramic ware, and purchase them and bring them back to America or take them to another country. So it's great that Pure Earth is able to go into the country and to help them to make lead-free pottery. Okay.
That was great. I want to share. I know that we had Charlene. I don't know if anyone was on when Charlene presented about lead. It was a different presentation, but she did share how high lead is in East Flatbush. I believe it landed somewhere on like the top 5 of contamination, and it's because of the historical industrial use of the land before now. So when you said lead, get that lead test, I just kept overhearing it. So if no one has never done it, I encourage you to get that lead test. Just get it and see. One of our great partners, Brooklyn Level Up, did a great community engagement last year, actually going around to community members testing their soils, because so many community members grow their own produce, and it was showing up in the soil as well. George, is that an old hand raised, or are you raising it again?
Well, I raised it, but you brought up the point that I was going to, because I was going to speak about that. Because about Brooklyn Level Up and the testing that they did in the area. But since you're talking about it, go ahead. I'll lower my hand unless you want me to add to it. So
You can add to it. I just shared that they did some great work in the community, testing community member soils and giving them kits to take home. But you could definitely share it because I know you engage with it more.
oh yes, as a matter of fact, that's the reason I asked about the lead in the soil because around here there did quite a few houses around me, and every single one of them in this area had a high level of lead, including my own, my neighbors, and my sister-in-law that lives like 3 blocks away. So basically, the surrounding area was just about every garden was contaminated with lead, which led us to start planting this summer. I planted everything in buckets, and a lot of my neighbors did the same thing because they were afraid of eating anything from the ground.
Yes, thank you for sharing that, George. I do remember a
Yes,
lot of the reports showed mimicking that high level of lead in the community, and they also tested school grounds and trees just
yes,
normal in the community outside of homes, and it still showed that high level um in the community. And I believe when before Sharon started presenting, I was looking up and it showed that as of 2025, East Flatbush stood at top 3 with the highest in Brooklyn. So
yes,
again,
I think that was.
get tested. I'm gonna get tested. Thank you for that. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Sharon,
and
for your presentation. It was really informative. Sorry,
Sure, you're
George.
welcome. And I just have one more thing to say. I did look up the information pertaining to George's question. So th to run in terms of running the water, so the range for before consumption, generally someone should run the water for 30 seconds to several minutes. So the least amount of time that the water should be run is 30 seconds to several minutes. If the water, and on our fact sheets, our FAQs, uh, if you should run the cold water for 2 to 3 minutes if it has not been used for a long period of time. Oh, sorry, I keep looking away. So 2 to 3 minutes if it has not been run for a long period of time. But you can start at 30 seconds if it's a pipe that you're
thank
normally
you.
using. Sure, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. You saved me a little research.
Thanks for asking that question as well.
Yes, thank you so much. And then highlight it again. Get tested. Ask for the water testing kit, and stuff like that, just to keep you safe. I'm going to do the wheel for the gift cards. I believe I have everyone in it. There was someone who it was just their phone number. Could you state who you are so I can put you in the raffle gift card, please, for the gift card?